Great.
Thank you for doing this interview with me. I'm excited to talk to everybody about things to do on a Tuesday.
Yeah, well, it's new and it's great, and I'm glad that you're taking it up.
Thank you. All right, so I'd like to ask you, how did you discover your work?
Well, I discovered my healing work. I was 16 years old in a boys' camp, and one of the boys jumped off the roof of the bunkhouse.
As boys do.
Yeah, that's right. The Superman age. Yeah, and as he came down, he caught his leg, his shin, on a steel bucket, and it tore the skin away from the bone, and he was not pleased.
No.
No, he got taken off by St. John's to the local hospital, where they treated him, no anaesthetic, and then brought him back. So all the boys in this camp, there were about 35, they're all newspaper boys from Melbourne. So he was making a lot of noise, and the kids all shared a bunkhouse, so obviously no one was going to get any sleep. So I stood over him, and I'd been interested in the idea of healing, but it just came into my head. I just held my hands over him and said, "Please God, take the pain away." And you would think, and the boys did think, that I'd knocked him out, because suddenly we went from shouting and crying to absolutely nothing.
Wow.
And he ended up sleeping through the night, and in the morning was much, much better. But it just was this amazing reaction.
Was that just instinctive for you to do that?
Sorry?
It was just instinct for you to do that?
Yes, yeah. I thought, well, I've got to do something. And I, going to Sunday school, you hear things about laying on of hands, and this can happen. And that was it. And it just came into my head to do this. It happened straight away.
Oh, that's so good. Okay. What's the strangest thing you've witnessed?
There was a young woman in America. She, I think her brother-in-law got in touch with me. She had cancer in her jaw. And so he asked if there's anything we could do. And I said, well, look, let's ask, let's be open to that. So we did some work with her, and so she went back to the clinic that she'd been in Georgia, and they had a look, and they said, look, the cancer's gone, but we still think we need to do the work. So what they ended up doing was that they took part of her jaw away, had to take another piece of bone from her leg to remake her jaw. And they had all that, the healing had been done. They acknowledged it had been done, but they still put this young woman through this negatively life-changing exercise of changing her face. And
traumatizing.
So, yeah, and so we got sort of a miracle result that was immediately unwound by the medical profession. So the miracle and the miserable, which you really would put together.
Okay. What do people get wrong about healing?
When we're born, we're told there's a whole lot of limitations on us, things we can't do. Like if you're sick, you've got to go to the doctor.
Yes.
We see it almost every day. We knock ourselves, it starts to bleed, then it stops bleeding, it gets better. Our body has this natural born tendency to heal. So we're told, so then you don't think about, I'll get healing for that. You think, I'll go to the doctor.
Yeah.
And it's the same when our whole education system is based on nothing, and we'll tell you what you're allowed to know. Essentially.
Yeah.
So, and so the freedom to be, to do things, this is what I find is the most important key to that.
Yeah, so we don't believe we can do it, basically.
No, that's right. And people confirm that belief for you. So they're telling you, oh, you can't do that, and you don't go to that school, you won't be able to be that person. So it's all limitations, and what we're really looking for is freedom. The freedom to be the best one of ourselves.
Yeah.
And we're looking for the best possible outcome.
Yeah, you're right. Because when we're children, we think we can do anything. Like when we're playing around, we're superheroes, and
yeah.
But over time we lose that, and so we don't believe we can heal.
No, and you know, your parents, your teachers, people generally are telling you that you can't do that.
This is the only way.
Yeah, that's right. There's one way, and it involves other people allowing you a touch of power. And we're claiming that power for us to be the best possible version of ourselves.
Beautiful, thank you. The simplest process anyone can try today. What can we give the people viewing and listening?
While you're watching this, then I'd like you to imagine that there's a person standing behind you. Now this person may be Jesus, it may be a spirit, it may be someone from a book you've read, film you've seen. Just that power, that influence person is standing right behind you, and they have one hand on your lower back, and they are intending, I want you to feel the best you've ever felt as this happy healing energy flows through your spine and then radiates around your body. And just let it flow. You feel it's just show that you are in contact, if you allow it, with beneficial influences. Now, and you get to nominate which influences, whether you'd rather have Donald Duck or Jesus, some other saint, some other Joan of Arc, if you don't mind fires. So feel that influence, and you can call upon that kind of energy anytime, anywhere. In this picture that you can almost see above my head, I did some work in Canada, and I was given a name, Spirit Talker. And this picture is a lady at an expo here in Perth, got this image in her mind, and she painted a picture for me. But it's just a reminder that there's positive influences out there if you are open to allowing them. So it's part of the freedom that healing brings. Give it a try.
That's beautiful. I love that so much. Okay. So you recently shared with me your unpublished book, Things to Do on a Tuesday, which I love even the title of. Why did you write Things to Do on a Tuesday?
A story just came. I was living in York, driving to Perth each day for work, and so it's an hour and a half drive. And I just would be thinking stuff, as you do when you're driving. And this idea came to me that Tuesday is virtually the only day of the week that no one's claimed. We have different religions, one Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday is sort of a miserable day because it's the start of a working week. Wednesday's hump day. So I got on. So Tuesday was the only day it was available. And so I looked, so what things could we do on a Tuesday that we may not do at other times? And so that was the concept. And then I started getting these different ideas, for want of a more appropriate word, for things that you really could do that would be different and bring about a natural magic, a natural interaction with the world that didn't involve a whole lot of special rules, labels, ways of dressing, any of those things. Just freedom to be you who you want to be on a Tuesday. And then you build your life out from there.
Yes, and there's some wonderful simple exercises to do in there, which
Yeah,
can change your life.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, just be open to it. And I'm always telling people, aim for the best possible outcome. You don't need to know what that is. You just need to know, I'm open to that.
Yes, thank you. Last question. What's the biggest miracle you've personally been a part of?
It's hard to choose one. I've got a couple of animal stories that fit in with that. Not the person. It's got a small horse property, and she's trying to develop it as a welfare centre for horses. She had one of her horses had an impacted bowel, and so it was unable to relieve itself. It's gone to the vet. The vet who was treating it was taking a weekend off, so he said to his local, "Look, when I get back on Monday, I'll put the horse down, but just sort of keep an eye on it otherwise." So a little while later, the locum calls the vet and said, "Look, you need to come in." And the vet said, "No, look, it's my weekend off. Give me a break." "No, you need to come in." And when the vet came in, he saw there was a sort of a waist-high pile of manure there. The horse is trotting around gaily. It seems to have taken off 5 years or so, and no harm. And he lived another 2 years after that. Then the same people had a dog, and its back legs became paralysed. So we did a specific healing process for that. And the next day, the dog is swimming in the pond, able to move around freely, and he lived, maybe still be alive for all I know, but get well from that, and suddenly changed. It was amazing.
I love that. That just is proof that healing works, because you can't convince an animal. It just...
I have another animal story. A lady in Austria had been dealing with a friend of mine who was specifically an animal healer, and it had a cat that was misbehaving, and they just couldn't do anything with this cat. And so they asked me, would I have a look at the situation? And so I sort of intuited talking to the cat, and the cat said, "They don't respect me." I said, "Well, what do you mean?" He said, "Well, my proper name is Princess, but they keep calling me Pussy." And I said, "You sure that's the main problem?" He said, "No, they don't respect me at all." So I said to the healer here, and she got in touch with her client and said, "They'll change the cat's name, call her Princess." And so they thought, well, playing along is easier than the way it's been. So they did that, and the cat's impeccable behaviour from then on. Wanted to be nursed, wanted to be looked after, but wanted to be called Princess.
That's a beautiful story. I love that. Thank you so much for your time, Ken.
No, it's fine.
It was lovely talking to you.
Good. And I'm glad that you're sharing my other book, and it's doing really well. It's helping more people.
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, bye.
Bye.